Hello, this is Jan Frick with Tab Boards International Accounts Receivable and Member Services Department. I am going to give you an outline as to how to manage your members through member applications, changes, and any other kind of reports. After we discuss this, we'll be able to go over how to complete member applications, any kind of changes, collection services, and reports that we offer. You will be able to access the various different reports by going into Member Management Toolkits, Member Acquisition Toolkits, and then you'll scroll down to the Member Cells and select all the various different forms, such as applications, credit card authorization forms, etc. The member application form looks like this. There is also an EFT and credit card form that is available as well. You will complete this application, both you and your member. You'll both sign the application, and then you will actually submit it online. The EFT and credit card authorization form is a two-part form. The top half is for electronic funds transfers. We suggest you get a voided check for your records. The bottom portion is the credit card authorization form that you would also need to have signed and completed by the member. Next, you'll go in online to enter the new member application. You'll do so by going into Member Management, New Member Application, Create New Member Application. You will then select the type of board that the member will be a part of, the coaching frequency, and the duration of those coaching sessions. On the front page, you'll also indicate there is a dashboard that will show you the incomplete, submitted, and processed applications. If there are any that are in the incomplete section, you would click that number to finish the completion of the application. You will then go into the member information and fill all of the asterisk required fields. You will mark whether or not they are performance guarantee, a PG 2.0 test drive, and whether they are a guest advisor. Please choose the expectation that the member has of TAB. The next screen will then take you to the amount of BAF and how they are going to pay. For those of you that are international, that field will not be required. It will just let you press the next button to continue. You will then go to the membership portion where you will enter the amount of monthly membership, the frequency, and the method of payment. For those that are international, that method of payment defaults to a check or invoice. For those of you that choose credit card or EFT, a new screen will pop up for you to complete the required information. The next page will then take you to the first coaching session or board meeting. You'll have a field for field support trainer, which is FST, and the board number. All board numbers must be numerical, and then you can put in any special comments that would be needed to identify any kind of special circumstances or things that you want us to do for that. You would then click the I confirm terms and condition box. You would save the application, and then you would submit it to corporate. Things to remember is that the first meeting date is what establishes the status of your member. If you do not have a first meeting date, your member will be set up as pending, and you will be required to submit a change in order to make the member an active member and to activate any billing processes. Your board numbers are generally within tiers. This is a suggestion of your tier boards. You can follow this suggestion. You can do however you want to set up your boards. TAB sends a welcome letter to each facilitator and to member within 2 business days of receiving the application. The welcome letter has the member's login and password information on that. If you do not receive that letter, please notify member services so that we can look into why there may be a discrepancy. The first month's charge processes can be very cumulative, so it is very important that you understand our process. The BAF is generally processed immediately. We always bill 1 month in advance, so we process those members that are paying by check on the 10th of the month, those that pay by EFT on the 23rd of the month, and those that pay by credit card on the 25th of the month. So for example, if your member's first meeting date is indicated as January 5th, we will build the BAF, and we receive your application on, let's say, January 4th. We would process the BAF immediately, we would process the January dues immediately, and then we will also be processing February dues in the month of January. To ensure that your income starts, you need to make sure that there is a first meeting date. It's the trigger that activates the billing. If there's no meeting date, members are set as pending, and we will process the BAF only and then a change will be required to process any further dues. The next section that we're going to go over is the member change forms. After this session, you're going to know how to process any kind of changes, such as a status change, how to resign a member, how to change or waive dues, how to change or reassign a board number, how to change a member's address, and what happens when you do so. In order to, there are several forms that are located on the system. You can find these under member management, document libraries, accounting, member services, and then the various different forms such as scholarship, performance guarantee, etc. So once you're ready to update a member, you will go into member management, update member records. You will then be able to choose from all of your members, or you can choose to select those members by board. Then you would go in and select your member to make any necessary changes. So your facilitator name and email is automatically generated. That is the field that will be automatically set up once those members are assigned to you. And then there's a drop down box for you to basically choose what it is you're going to change, whether you're going to change the status or a board, dues, or other information. Things to remember: active status members are those that are standard. They attend a board meeting and coaching. SBL is considered a coaching only member. Scholarship are those members that may be having a financial hardship, they're a government entity, etc. They could be attending meetings at a reduced cost that is determined by the facilitator, which is $0 or more, and they are active members on any kind of reports. A pending member are those members whose applications we received with no first meeting date. BAF is billed as soon as we receive it, and in order for us to bill going forward, we will require a member change form. Leave of absence is a member that is temporarily unable to attend meetings. They are not to be billed during this period up to 6 months. There will be emails that will go out to you to indicate those members that have been on leave of absence for 6 months or longer, asking for a change. If you decide to resign a member, these members will be resigned at the end of the month, and they will not be billed any further or attend any further meetings. A test drive member is completing the test drive program and is not being billed at all. If you're going to make a board change, the member's current status and board automatically is generated. You would then be able to select a different board to move them to. The member's current status is automatically generated, and you would be able to change the status to the status of your choice. Please provide an effective date for any changes that you make. Resignations: if you choose to resign a member, resignations are done at the end of the month. All other changes are done at the beginning of a month. A second member change form is required if you're going to restart billing on any member that is LOA or scholarship. The reason is that many times the scholarship or the LOA is extended or changed and we are unaware of those. That's why we require an additional change in order to start billing. Resignations are always done at the end of the month. They will appear as resigned on any reports only as of the last day of the month. Otherwise, they will remain as active members, but no further billing will be done. Please indicate a reason for your resignation in the box provided. We bill 1 month in advance, so your effective month is the month that we're billing for, not the month that we create the bill. So please keep that in mind when you indicate your first meeting date. So if a January effective month means we're billing dues for the January meeting. What month, you always have to ask yourself this question, what month do you want us to collect the dues for? So if you want us to collect dues for January, then on resignations, you would put a resignation date of January 31st. If you don't, you would resign the member as of December 31st. For those that we are doing billing for, we would ask if you want to refund on any members that we've already collected dues for. The dues section must be completed when you're changing the status of a member, when you're changing the dues amounts, the frequency of the payment, the type, whether they're going from invoice to credit card to EFT or vice versa. A new EFT credit card form is always required on any changes, and if you're going to waive dues for any reason, we will also need the dues once you take them off the waive status. We can waive dues for 1 to 2 months without changing the status of the member. If it's longer than that, we will require a status change. Please indicate the beginning and end date of when you want us to waive dues, and please make sure you provide an effective date for any other dues changes. If there is any additional information to support what it is you want us to do, please indicate that in the additional information box, and then you would click submit when you're finished with that form. You will then get a copy of the member change in your email. If you don't receive a copy, we didn't receive a copy. You can print these, you can save them online, and it's proof that it was sent, and it is your proof for your member records. The cutoff times to receive any kind of changes and or new member applications are indicated in the 2018 member cash receipt calendar that you'll find on the intranet. It does include the earlier dates because of the holidays, the U.S. holidays in November and December. If a scheduled date for our processes falls on a Friday or falls on a weekend, we will actually process them on the Friday before. So exceptions are the EFT and credit cards that we process in November and December will be done so prior to the 25th for those holidays. Electronic funds transfers are processed immediately as our credit cards, and checks received after the month-end deposit go on to the next month's income. Important things to remember: no blanks. Your first meeting date is required to activate the billing process. When you have members on LOA or scholarship, you must complete a change form, and we cannot reactivate billing based on a first change form because there are unintended circumstances, and we don't want to bill a member that doesn't come back or extends their status. If we process a credit card and it declines, we notify the facilitator. You would contact your member for new payment information. If it's just a credit card expiration update, you can email that information to us. If it is an actual new credit card, we must receive a new credit card form that must be faxed or called into us, and the reason is that we need to be PCI compliant. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us.